Chicago, a city that never truly sleeps, now haunted by the echoes of boots on pavement. It's October 2025, and once again, immigration agents are back on the streets. From the South Side to Little Village, ICE and CBP teams have returned in full force, raiding homes, workplaces, and even public spaces. People are scared to go to work. Mothers are keeping their kids home from school. And the city that was once a symbol of freedom is now gripped by silence and fear. This is not just news. This is a story of families torn apart, communities fighting back, and a city searching for justice. Tonight, we look back at a month that Chicago will never forget. Early October, South Side apartment raid turns violent. It started quietly, a South Side apartment building. 6 a.m. the sound of boots, radios, and shouts. ICE agents moved in fast, breaking down a door in search of a man they claimed was living under a false name. Neighbors watched from their windows as flashlights lit up the stairwell. Screams filled the hall. Inside, a young mother was dragged from her living room, crying, terrified, clutching her 2 children. Witnesses say officers pointed weapons, demanding IDs from everyone in the building. One man tried to record it. His phone was confiscated. By the time local police arrived, it was over. The mother was gone. The children were left behind, alone, crying on the steps. The footage of that morning spread across social media within hours.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying, people was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
Thousands of people reposted it using one phrase, "This is not the America we were promised." Little Village morning. Arrest sparks neighborhood chaos. Just days later, ICE returned, this time to Little Village. It was early morning again when a black SUV blocked a narrow street near 26th and Costner. A man on his way to work was stopped and detained. His wife ran outside screaming. Neighbors rushed in, some throwing objects, others begging the officers to let him go. One teenager streamed the entire incident live. Within minutes, thousands were watching. By noon, the video had spread beyond Chicago. National news outlets picked it up. The arrest wasn't just about one man. It was about fear spreading through a whole neighborhood. A place known for its color, its culture, its heart, now a symbol of resistance. Later that night, hundreds gathered for a vigil outside the community church. Candles lined the sidewalk. Chants echoed, "Not one more deportation." Pilsen community marches after family detained mid-October, another raid. This time in Pilsen, one of Chicago's most vibrant, artistic neighborhoods. ICE agents entered a 2-story home around 5 a.m. looking for a father of 3. He had no criminal record. He was taken anyway. The next day, something remarkable happened. The entire community rose up. Artists, students, restaurant workers, even priests all came out marching together. Banners read, "Families belong together," and "Chicago stands strong." Local media captured powerful moments. Children holding photos of their parents, teenagers holding signs that read, "We are not afraid." The march ended in silence outside the Pilsen police station, where protesters left roses on the steps. A quiet message of pain, of defiance, of unity. ICE sweep reported near O'Hare. Panic at a bus stop later that week. Reports began flooding in from the northwest side, near O'Hare Airport. Witnesses said ICE agents were stopping commuters at a bus terminal, asking for identification. Videos surfaced showing people running, buses reversing, and officers shouting in confusion. Some say it was the most chaotic scene of the month. Others say it was a test to see how far they could go without city interference. A woman interviewed by a local reporter said she hid behind a vending machine for 20 minutes while her co-workers were detained. Her voice trembled as she said, "I came to this country for freedom. Now I can't even go to work." By evening, Chicago's mayor's office was flooded with calls demanding answers. West Loop protesters confront federal agents October 18th, downtown Chicago. Hundreds of protesters gathered near the federal building in the West Loop. They were angry, tired of the raids, tired of silence, tired of fear. Signs read, "Stop the terror on our streets," and "We are not criminals." When ICE vehicles arrived, the crowd surrounded them, chanting, waving flags, and blocking exits. Agents stood in formation, shields up, helmets on. Then came the push. Tear gas filled the air. People ran, others fell. Ambulances lined the streets as the night descended into chaos. Drone footage later showed the entire standoff from above, lights flashing against the dark Chicago skyline. A haunting image of a city divided. Voices of mothers, fear inside the homes amid all the noise. One story kept repeating, mothers left alone, their families torn apart. In Brighton Park, one woman recorded a message for her husband, detained weeks ago. "I told our kids you're working late. I don't know what else to say." Another in Humboldt Park spoke through tears. "Every time I hear a knock on the door, my heart stops." These aren't just statistics. They're real people, living day by day, waiting for a call that may never come. Mayor's office reacts, "We can't live in fear anymore." After weeks of silence, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson addressed the raids during a press conference. He said the city would not cooperate with unlawful detentions and that every resident of Chicago deserves safety, not fear. But not everyone was convinced. Some community leaders accused the city of being reactive, not proactive. Others demanded immediate legal aid for families still in detention. The statement brought headlines, but no relief. As one activist said outside City Hall, "Words don't stop the raids, only action does." Legal battles heat up in federal court in the final week of October. Things shifted from the streets to the courtroom. Civil rights lawyers filed a lawsuit demanding an injunction on ICE operations within Chicago city limits. Judge Sarah Ellis, known for her strong stance on accountability, summoned ICE and CBP officials to testify. She demanded to know why force was used during recent operations and whether due process was violated. The hearing drew massive attention. Protesters filled the plaza outside the Dirksen Federal Building, holding signs that read, "Justice for our families." Inside, ICE attorneys argued national security. The judge countered with a single line that went viral online. "Security means nothing if citizens live in fear of their own government." End note. Hope, resistance, and what comes next as October draws to a close. Chicago stands at a crossroads. The raids may continue, the fear may linger, but so does the spirit of resistance. Every march, every candlelight vigil, every act of kindness is a reminder that this city doesn't break easily. Chicago has faced fear before, but it always rises again. And as we look toward November, one thing is certain: the people are watching, and they will not be silent.